You ever scroll past a TikTok that looks completely normal at first? Just a dad and his daughter doing dances in a park, but still, something about it makes your stomach tighten a little. Like you can't point to one specific thing. Nothing outright illegal, nothing you could screenshot and instantly prove. The way he looks at her is just a little too long. The way the comments are split between, this is so wholesome and why does this feel wrong? And then you keep watching. Because now you're trying to figure out if you're the weird one for thinking that, or if everyone else is ignoring something that's right in front of them. At first it just feels awkward. Maybe they're just a very close family. Maybe the internet is overreacting.
Will you wear this ring as a sign and a promise?
But the more videos you see, the more explanations they give, the harder it becomes to shake the feeling that something is seriously off. And once people started digging, what they found made this whole thing go from uncomfortable to disgustingly disturbing. Usually with these types of stories, the start is rather wholesome. But not with this one, because the red flags were visible from day one. Patrick Getchell and his 20-year-old daughter, Sarah, launched their TikTok account, Dad and Daughter Dream Team, back in May 2023. On the surface, they posted exactly what the bio said: cool dances, challenges, and family fun. Patrick was not new to the game. He had been attempting to go viral for years. Long before TikTok, he was preaching on YouTube to build a following. He believed he was on a special mission, claiming God had personally sent him to deliver a message. But perhaps after he realized that preaching won't earn him any fame, he moved on to something else. That's when Sarah comes into the picture, because now he wanted to create traditional family content. His new brand was to publicly show the loving relationship he had with his daughter.
Hello everyone, I'm Sarah and this is my dad Patrick.
We love to dance together.
And lip sync.
A seemingly normal TikTok account featuring the loving dad and daughter duo who were posting fun videos together, all of which seemed quite normal, or so it seemed. Their early content stuck to safe trends like park challenges and lip syncs similar to what most people post on TikTok. And some of the commenters were even praising and envying the bond.
Like this, and I want to thank you all so much for the love, and I love y'all guys too.
On the 8th of May 2023, Patrick posted this video to thank his followers, because that's exactly what he wanted. On the same day, they post another video thanking everyone for 8,000 views, but this excitement would soon fade into something concerning as viewers started noticing some details.
Hello everybody, I'm Patrick.
And I'm Sarah.
And we are...
Many people watching felt that the duo was extra touchy and really close to each other with their dance trends, whether it was by holding hands, hugging, or leaning into each other. Even when there was not much physical contact, they had romantic duets with prolonged eye contact, which certainly felt inappropriate for a father and daughter. And with their faces inches apart, the content felt needlessly intimate. This is creepy from start to finish, Alabama family. But as the internet will soon find out, this was just the tip of a really disturbing iceberg. On the 13th of May 2023, they posted another of these dance videos, which caught the attention of viewers, this time for what they were wearing. Now the issue wasn't wearing customized shirts, it was what was written on them. Patrick had a regular, "I'm just a dad" shirt on. The creepy part was Sarah's shirt, which said, "I am his ladybug." Now, if you don't know, according to the Urban Dictionary, ladybug means a chick that is cute and hot at the same time. Naturally, such a nickname wouldn't be a problem if it were two lovers using it for each other, but it's not exactly something to be exchanged between father and daughter. With growing concerns, people started looking at their uploads with suspicion and felt uneasy about Patrick's hand placements when he was around Sarah.
Too long. And then they started posting clips that honestly I would not even know how to describe.
With growing concerns, people started looking at their uploads with suspicion and felt uneasy about Patrick's hand placements when he was around Sarah. And as these concerns got worse, viewers began wondering where the mother was in all of this. So in order to shut the criticism down, on May 13th, 2023, Sarah posted a video along with her mother, Teresa.
Here she is. This is my mother. Her and my dad have been married for 22 years.
While this reveal could have been fairly normal, Sarah's tone when she insisted that everything was normal once again raised eyebrows. It made many people question why she felt the need to explain things, if there was really nothing wrong going on. Teresa mentioned that she wasn't fond of being on camera and was there to support her husband and daughter behind the lens. However, this wouldn't be the last time she appeared in one of their videos. But ironically, things only seemed more suspicious each time she came on.
We got something going on. I felt so alive.
Viewers noticed that Patrick rarely touched Teresa and showed no physical affection toward her, which was the complete opposite of how he behaved around his daughter. Not only this, but he also used to write really long appreciation posts for Sarah. Additionally, whenever Teresa appeared with both of them, the energy in the room felt different. The way they treated Teresa seemed really off. They brushed her off or just laughed.
If you don't keep saying you're ugly, then I'm gonna kiss you.
If you do that, sweetheart, I will be right next to you.
Really?
What?
Really?
Yeah, really.
It's too hot for this.
I don't care.
I do.
It was as if she were third-wheeling Patrick and Sarah. They just wanted her to go away so that they could be together. Unsurprisingly, people were quick to call them out for their weird behavior. He handles her like she's his mother. Bro's got so much more energy with his daughter to do it. Bro is also barely touching the mother's side where he's gripping the daughter. And as these allegations grew stronger, Teresa decided to post a long rant targeting everyone, calling out Patrick and Sarah. However, the internet did not approve of it, clearly reading something. Well-written script, Patrick. There were a lot of people who thought their video was rehearsed, as if she were reading from a script that was given to her by someone else. Others believed that she was intellectually disabled and may not fully understand the situation. She's got some form of mental illness, but I've seen people who live there / know the mom say that the mom enables it / knows and just doesn't care. She's a little slow, I think, no offense. The mother looks like she is mentally impaired. And as all of these pieces began to come together, the internet landed on a theory that was somehow even more disgusting.
I post all the videos. I read every comment that you guys post. No, I don't.
Even though throughout this period, Sarah herself posted in a number of videos rejecting all the allegations.
Fine. This is my father. We're doing dance trends and other trends on TikTok. There's absolutely nothing going on here.
Insisting that there was nothing going on between her and her father. The viewers remained unconvinced. I am genuinely scared for what has taken place in that home. The saddest part is she's grown up this way and likely thinks it's normal. They believed Patrick was taking advantage of the whole situation, and that his behavior towards Sarah had most likely been normalized from the start. This means she may not even be aware that something is wrong. This explains why she has continued to defend her father. Soon, around the same time, Patrick came forward to debunk the criticism and clear everything up.
The people that seem to think that I'm in love with my daughter, we're not. I love my daughter. That's it. She's my daughter.
He clarified that he and Sarah were just a father and daughter duo.
It's never crossed any boundaries. It's never crossed any...
But the concerning thing about his video is how he believed he never crossed any boundaries with her. He's a very bad actor. He also doesn't look particularly repulsed by the suggestion that he's being inappropriate with his daughter. Funny how he's the one to determine whether boundaries have been crossed, like we don't have eyes. And of course, the viewers were quick to see that. Your outfits are always so damn pretty. To add to the pile of the weird things going on in this family, whenever someone complimented Sarah's outfits, she would always say that her father picked them out for her. But none of this would compare to what comes next.
Okay, guys. We got something special for you, so please don't go anywhere. Stop scrolling.
Because on June 14th, 2023, Patrick posted a video that immediately went viral, but for all the wrong reasons. He wanted to give Sarah a purity ring.
I am about to give Sarah a purity ring, but
Purity rings, also known as chastity or abstinence rings, represent a pledge to remain celibate until marriage. For those of you who don't know, as the name suggests, purity rings are a symbol of remaining pure, meaning that there should be no sexual relationships or intimacy before marriage. As gross as that already sounds, Patrick decided to present it like a marriage proposal while going down on his knee.
Sarah, will you wear this ring as a sign and a promise to God and to me to remain pure until the day you're married?
Patrick asked her to vow to him, and God to stay pure until the day she marries. Yeah, this is gross. See a naive girl in a controlling relationship with her dad. I was there once too. Run. Don't ever look back. That shit ain't normal. Dude is 100% attracted to his daughter. Get that poor woman away from that freak. The audience was undoubtedly shocked by this, and for a significant number of them, it confirmed what they had been contemplating all along. Along with the online hate, there were also articles published online, criticizing the proposal as misogynistic, controlling, and somehow related to emotional incest. In addition to everything else, it didn't take long for people to discover that the ring Patrick purchased was actually from Walmart. This made online investigators look even deeper, and they noticed that Teresa never wore any ring, so people started questioning it. Not only that, but Patrick himself was never seen wearing any ring, which makes giving your eldest daughter a purity ring that looks like an engagement ring even more gross. After this video went viral, the duo immediately became notorious all over the internet for their borderline incestuous behavior. People created a number of TikTok accounts and a dedicated subreddit to track and investigate every single thing they did. As these people started looking deeper into their lives, more disturbing details came to the surface. It was discovered that Patrick had 2 brothers, and to everyone's shock, they were convicted sex offenders. To make it worse, not only did Patrick defend them, but he also didn't see any problem with having his kids meet them, including his 10-year-old son Hunter. Because when people called him out for his brothers, he made a video to respond to the allegations. He claimed that it was his brother's issue to deal with, not his, which indicates a lack of concern for the well-being of his children. A normal dad would want nothing to do with people like that, even family, to protect their kids. Wow, a pattern happened to them, now they are doing it to others. This confirms it. Poor daughter. But adding on to the suspicious behavior of this family, soon the internet began questioning their living conditions, which was set off after they posted this video on the 5th of June 2023. My question is, why are you coming out of same bedroom? Cringeworthy. Do y'all live in a hotel? To this, Patrick replied, at the moment, yes. It is an extended stay place. We are going to be making a big move soon, so it was better than getting locked into a long-term lease. And with criticism growing with every upload, Sarah decided to address the internet once again on the 13th of June 2023.
Okay. So you want to know why I look so uncomfortable in the videos? Well, I'm about to tell you. So listen, and listen good. Number 1. I'm not underage. I'm almost 21. I will be 21 on Friday, so you people can stop telling me that I'm underage. My father is not creepy, weird, or doing anything he's not supposed to do. He's being a father. If you don't like that...
She sounded genuinely fed up with people online coming up with theories about her and Patrick. On the surface, that frustration makes sense. If thousands of strangers were dissecting your life every day, you'd snap too. But the problem is, the internet wasn't inventing these questions out of thin air. Patrick and Sarah weren't being watched because they were private people getting harassed for no reason. They were being watched because they kept feeding the exact dynamic everyone was reacting to. For instance, just a few days later, it was Sarah's birthday on June 16th. She turned 21 in 2023, and to celebrate it, Patrick posted a song called My Sweet Baby Girl.
Because I love you, my sweet baby girl. And now the time has almost come for you, Marie. I see a house in a yard with a swing in the tree. You holding a baby, swinging and laughing. Your happiness shows like flowers in spring. I see that future and I am happy too. Because I know I'll be there with you.
Again, a dad writing something heartfelt for his daughter isn't automatically weird. In most families, it would actually be sweet, but the lyrics didn't land like a normal birthday tribute. He described the future in which she is married, but he is still around, not her husband. It sounded less like a proud father cheering her on, and more like someone positioning himself as the central figure in her life no matter what happens next. Some people applauded the effort. She's lucky to have such a great dad and family. Happy birthday, beautiful girl. And on that same post, someone brought up the ring again, and Sarah responded, thanks. It is what keeps me focused on the important things in life, like knowing who I am without distractions or complicated relationships. This led many to think that her relationship with her father was sabotaging her relationship with others. The theory felt even more believable when people discovered Patrick's Instagram posts about her. Over the years, you have grown into the most beautiful, sweet, kind, generous, and loving young woman in the world. Your smile can light up an entire room. Your sweet voice can put a lion at ease. I want to give you everything in this entire world, just because I love you, my sweet baby girl. Apart from calling her his ladybug once again, in another post, he framed her as emotionally central to him in a way that didn't sound like a healthy father-daughter dynamic. In fact, it sounded like dependence. And the reason this affection stood out so sharply is that it didn't feel evenly distributed across the family. Because when it was Hunter's birthday, Patrick's message was noticeably flatter, almost like a formality. Not only that, but people also noticed he referred to Hunter as Sarah's brother, which sounds small until you realize what it implies, because it subtly frames the family around Sarah as the main character, and everyone else as supporting cast. About which one, Redditor said, Sarah handpacked happy birthday to the inspiration for our character Lion, my son and Sarah's brother Hunter. He is strong and funny, sweet but stubborn, one of the most awesome young men you could ever meet. We love you, Hunter. Have an amazing birthday. Why does P feel the need to include and Sarah's brother Hunter, making it seem like she is his mother and gave birth to this child? He didn't even say mine and T's son, but he made sure to mention S. He's a freak, and I'm not sure why S is up on this pedestal when it should be his wife. And once viewers started looking at it through that lens, one question kept creeping in and getting louder. If her relationship with her dad takes up this much space publicly, then what does her social life look like privately? And does she even have one that isn't filtered through him? Because soon, people found something that made that question feel a lot more urgent. They found that Sarah had a private account under the name Future SeaWorld Trainer, and it looked like a more personal corner of her life where she interacted more casually with people. And that's where the next thread begins, because her private posts eventually point toward one specific person she seemed fixated on, Jenna Frank. For some context, Jenna is the daughter of the actor Jason David Frank, whose was famous for playing Green Power Ranger, and Jenna herself is quite popular in the Power Rangers community. On that account, Sarah posted a supportive message to Jenna Frank. "Heartbroken hero. My childhood, I can't begin to describe how much he meant to me. Gone, but never forgotten. My message for Jenna. Sweetheart, I can't imagine how you must be feeling. I want you to know that all your fans love you. You are so loved, and I am praying for you and your family. His legacy will live on through you, your siblings, and everyone that loved him. If you ever need to talk, my DMs are always open. I don't know you personally, but I am willing to listen to whatever you need to say. I love you, and I am so sorry for your loss." And then on the 26th of June, 2023, Sarah posted a video where she called someone her best friend. The problem is, the context people dug up made that label feel off, because Jenna wasn't a longtime friend from school or someone from her personal life. She was someone Sarah met at a meet and greet. Jenna interacted with them the same way she interacted with other fans, which is literally what meet and greets are. So when Sarah calls her bestie, it doesn't come off as cute, it comes off as someone trying to force closeness where it doesn't exist. And that's where people started to get uncomfortable again, because it fed into the same theme that kept following this family around: blurred boundaries, manufactured intimacy, and a public insistence that everyone else is the problem for noticing it. Honestly, this is just said. She's probably been so sheltered she doesn't know what it's like to have a close friend. Her private Instagram quickly filled up with pictures of Jenna, and it read like an obsession. And it didn't stop at Sarah either, because Patrick also seemed strangely invested, tagging Jenna frequently and inserting himself into the orbit. What a difference 1 year can make. I have watched this woman grow from being unsure of herself to being a strong woman of God, from being unsure of her future to knowing exactly what she wants and going after it without question, from having several toxic friendships to throwing them all away and finding true friends like. But even as people called it out, Patrick and Sarah kept dancing around the accusation and laughing it off.
"What the hell did you do? In my defense, you left me unsupervised. You're a grown-ass adult!"
They keep making videos about the haters and trolls. But what people didn't realize at the time was that all of this, the language, the intensity, the fantasy undertones, was about to materialize into something far more concrete. Because while viewers were still debating whether the Jenna situation was just awkward fandom or something deeper, Patrick and Sarah quietly announced something else. On the 14th of December 2023, they uploaded a teaser for an upcoming book. At first glance, it looked harmless, something wholesome they co-authored together. Some viewers were genuinely excited. "This is totally my style of a book and will be purchasing y'all so talented and will go far." Their description framed it as an epic story. Dragons, royalty, destiny, the kind of thing you'd expect from a young aspiring author and her supportive father. But here's where things started to feel different. When it officially released on April 18th, 2024, under the title Firebound Harmony, Princess and Dragon Unite, and people actually looked into the themes of the book, the parallels became impossible to ignore. It centered around a deeply intense bond between a princess and a dragon, in which blurred emotional and relational lines in ways that felt eerily familiar, said Thaddeus, hugging her as she entered the dining hall. She really did love her father, thought about how she was going to make time to see Aurelia, and she had come up with a plan. "Yes, actually, I was planning on spending the day gathering mushrooms and herbs in the forest," she said. "I'm hoping to find more Dramora mushrooms for the healers to make their numbing salve with." Jalen knew it was because he was her father, and fathers always tried to protect their daughters. Jalen couldn't help but tease her father. Bathing the walls in warm golden light, catching the warm and golden light, her father had always listened to her stories with interest. She knew he was a curious boy himself once. Her father had always joked that she was as curious as a newborn seeing everything for the first time. Her father was teasing her and joking around. They were very close. However, following the release of their book in May 2024, they vanished from the internet for about a year. They didn't come back to TikTok until February 2nd, 2025.
The Dream Team is back! Win, bro!
We got it!
Yay!
So, you saw it here first. The Dream Team is back.
But with them, all the accusations around their behavior returned as well.
So, we got a lot of questions on our comments on our last video.
And just a week later, they found themselves in the position of needing to release yet another video to justify their actions. Once again, they insisted that nothing about their behavior was inappropriate. They described themselves as simply a very close-knit family and framed everything as completely normal for them.
This is the way our family operates. Now, a lot of people have said, "I don't see you touch your wife like that much, or your son." Well, that's because they're not on camera all the time. We are.
Yeah.
I assure you that during the course of the day, I hug Hunter several times, my wife quite a lot.
Literally, when him and Hunter are playing games, Hunter will literally just randomly get up and hug him.
Yeah.
And he'll do the same.
Yeah, We are a family that loves to hug and touch and hold.
As you can expect, their explanation failed to convince anyone watching. And then, on April 20th, 2025, something happened that shifted the entire situation. For the first time ever, they agreed to sit down for a full interview with Lauren Howe on the YouTube channel Unreligiously.
Speak out on it before. I've tried to answer questions. I've tried to set the record straight, but every time I do, people just try and twist it, turn it, and it's just like, it looks like I'm responding to trolls, and it's just crazy.
As the interview moved forward, Lauren began asking more direct questions, and Sarah spoke about being homeschooled. They talked about their shared faith, which set the stage for what everyone watching was waiting for. Then Lauren asked about the purity ring.
That whole purity ring video started with Teresa, actually. She had the idea, because
Sarah said she chose it herself and didn't want to feel pressure.
she made the suggestion that I do it like a proposal, kind of make her feel really special. It was nothing more than...
He further explains that the proposal idea was also Teresa's. Then Lauren asked Patrick about his role in Sarah's life.
Honestly, the only role I have that could be considered a spousal role is that I am trying to show my daughter, through my actions, through how I treat her, to what she needs to look for in a man that she eventually does want to marry. She knows I would never do anything to hurt her or anything. I don't want to say troll because...
He clarified that when he previously said there shouldn't be boundaries in a family, he meant emotional openness, and added that Sarah knows he would never engage in anything sexual with her. And that statement alone unsettled a lot of viewers, because most fathers don't feel the need to clarify that on camera.
I think it's people are over...
Once again, he redirected the blame outward, arguing that people were projecting their own thoughts onto his actions. Maybe they hoped these statements would quiet the accusations down, but in reality, the interview had the completely opposite effect. Clips of the interview spread quickly, bringing even more views to their videos, most of which were consistently getting tens of thousands of views. This reignited their Snark subreddit as well, and with so many people watching so closely, it wasn't long before the internet caught one tiny detail that made the whole situation way darker than anyone imagined. Back in December 2024, Sarah had posted a TikTok on her personal account using an AI-generated audio. In the video, she was dancing to a song that was clearly made by AI. When people later looked into it, they discovered that Sarah was the only person on TikTok who had ever used the audio. At first, it looked like a small independent creator account, but within minutes of searching, it became obvious that Ariella wasn't a real person. She was an AI-generated persona with a really suggestive Instagram profile. The bio referenced a monster hunter, a phrase that immediately caught people's attention, because if you had read Firebound Harmony, Princess and Dragon Unite, the language felt eerily familiar. It wasn't proof of anything, but it was strange. Then Reddit users tracked Ariella across platforms, and they found accounts everywhere, including OF. At this point, what had started as a strange, one-off audio was turning into something much larger, because viewers weren't just seeing an AI profile, they were seeing a coordinated digital presence built around it. Later viewers found that Sarah and Patrick had been interacting with the account. Whether through comments, engagement, or subtle digital traces, there was enough overlap to make people question whether this was a random coincidence or something more intentional. And then the connection became impossible to ignore, because the AI model Ariella looked familiar, very familiar. People began placing images of Ariella side by side with Jenna Frank, the same Jenna Sarah had previously labeled her bestie. The resemblance was uncanny. The facial structure, styling, and overall presentation felt intentionally similar. Once that comparison went viral, everything snapped into focus. If Ariella was modeled after Jenna, and Ariella's accounts were filled with adult fantasy content, and Patrick and Sarah had interacted with those accounts, then deep down, there must have been something seriously disturbing going on. Around the same time, viewers discovered that Jenna had blocked both Sarah and Patrick across social media, and suddenly the timeline started to line up. People began reaching out to Jenna directly, warning her that the AI persona circulating online appeared to resemble her. They alleged that Patrick had used her likeness as inspiration for the model. Not long after that wave of exposure, all of Ariella's accounts began disappearing, and when something vanishes the moment it gets attention, it rarely calms suspicion. And as you can guess, both Sarah and Patrick denied having anything to do with the AI bot.
And finally, there's a rumor going around that my dad and I created an AI that made spicy content on OnlyFans. Their whole basis for this accusation is that this AI posted a song. I saw it on TikTok and I liked it, so I made a lip sync. I also followed the account in case they posted more music I liked. Excuse me for liking an AI song, but that does not prove that we were behind the account.
You do, of course, realize that songs, TikTok videos can pop up on people's For You page that you've interacted with. It's part of the algorithm. So Sarah was the only one to make a lip sync. Sarah was the only one to actually make a lip sync or use the song. Well, it wasn't up long, apparently, and she's the only one who saw it.
Someone from Reddit created that AI account and tried to make people believe it was us. They can't stand to be wrong, so they gotta create more.
So someone from Reddit created the AI account to force their entire family to follow it and force Sarah to do lip syncs to its music. Does she realize how ridiculous it sounds that someone from Reddit would catfish her entire family with an explicit OWL model, where Sarah just so happened to be the only one ever to find this account and use the music in one of her videos? This is so insane to even suggest. And somehow the worst of this story was yet to come, because while every Ariella Bremen account had been deleted across social media platforms, one profile remained untouched, a Literotica account. For context, Literotica is a website where users publish adult fictional stories under pseudonyms. The account had published a story titled Dad and Me. Hello, my name is Ariella. I have been wanting to tell my story for a long time, but it isn't something I can really talk about with a lot of people. Even living in Rhode Island, where incest is legal, it is still frowned upon and considered wrong. As sickening as it already was, the account also had creepy audio recordings of a man.
I walk into the door of my bedroom and stop dead. I found you. I want to say something, but I'm mesmerized by the sight.
It was titled Daddy's Home, with a caption that said, "Inspired by a certain someone who shall remain nameless to protect her innocence unscripted. Feedback welcome, consideration for a rookie much appreciated." On top of that, when users dug deeper into the Literotica account, they discovered multiple linked email addresses, and those emails reportedly traced back to one name, Patrick Getchell. While this alone was enough to prove what the internet had been suspecting all along, it was just the start of a long trail of very disturbing revelations. Linked to the Ariella account were two more Literotica profiles. First was named Babe for Dad, and had a profile image featuring a dragon nearly identical to the one Patrick had animated for the cover of A Firebound Harmony, and the content posted under that account was overtly incest-themed. The second account was under the username Suspicious Quail, which arguably crossed every line of decency, because this account contained stories that included characters named after Patrick's own children. Remember the Ladybug shirt from their early content in 2023? Well, that reference made another appearance as one of the followers had the same username, but the connection web grew even wider. Longtime followers already knew Patrick ran a gaming channel and frequently posted content tied to fantasy themes. When people searched the username Suspicious Quail beyond Literotica, they found a YouTube account created back in 2012 using the same name. That account uploaded gaming content. It featured dragon imagery, and when viewers played the videos, the voiceover once again sounded nearly identical to Patrick's.
Anyway, so here's our next boss guy. Yay, gargoyles.
And if it wasn't already concerning enough, some viewers even found that Ariella's Venmo account had the same zip code as the motel the family was allegedly staying in. All of these events led to Patrick coming out and confronting the allegations. He made a new TikTok account under the name Patrick Unscripted. He posted a video to address the controversy.
You guys are sick, perverted freaks. I have never even thought about writing a story like that. And you know what I'm talking about. Everybody's heard the rumors.
And even with all of this, Patrick continued to deny every allegation. Not only this, but he also once again accused the viewers that one of them had created the AI account to frame him. Later, in another video, he also talked about how he had never lied about the situation.
I've told the truth throughout this entire video. I have not lied once. I don't do that. I don't need to. Because if it was me, I would have owned up to it a long time ago.
Soon Sarah came on her personal account as well and told everyone that the Dad-Daughter Dream Team TikTok account is no more, and then went on to reassert that all the rumors are false.
Sorry to say, but the Dream Team is gone. We just couldn't post content together anymore knowing how people saw it, especially with the latest bull they're trying to spread. All the rumors are false.
Following these videos, Patrick and Sarah announced that they would sit down for another interview, this time with TikToker Hannah Mari, claiming they were ready to address every rumor head on. But little did anyone know, this interview would reveal far more than Patrick and Sarah ever intended. The interview was broadcast live on TikTok, and Patrick and Sarah repeatedly denied everything.
There's a connection here that a lot of people don't understand.
I think it stems a lot from the fact that we are so close to being almost identical. We're almost like twins.
We finish each other's sentences sometimes.
It's natural for us. And I can...
He continued to give the same explanations that he had been giving for over 2 years.
Now, in my opinion, there are too many similarities. And I don't know if you... So it's hard, I think, for people to look at all of that and question, is someone said?
At the very end of the interview, she finally got Patrick to admit that he did make the Ariella Bremen AI account for her.
I will tell you, I am 100% did not create Literotica.
I believe you.
No way. I would never go that far. She loves it.
She is.
She actually loves being being seen on camera, but she just gets nervous, and I want to help her with that.
It's a nerve thing because it comes like I had the same problem when I was younger. Like, you feel like it has to be perfect, so you get like nervous if you don't. You get nervous, so it's like it doesn't come out.
Even though he admitted it, he still said he had nothing to do with the Literotica profile or the story that was placed on it. Viewers found it difficult to accept his statements at face value after he deceived the internet for such a long time and avoided every chance to be truthful. A few days later, Hannah released screenshots of text messages from Patrick where he admitted that he had in fact written the story. Of course it does. So yes, I wrote that story. That is the only story like that I've ever written. It was complete fiction, and it was hard for me to even write it, but I was being stupid trying to get traction for the whole Al account, and terrifying as it is, most of the top read stories on Literotica are from that category. At one point, he suggested that if Hannah wanted the full truth, he could write a biography, explaining everything, as if the unfolding scandal were simply material for another monetizable project. That is it, that is the full truth. But in order to truly understand how I could possibly justify trying to make money off that, then my life and the events leading up to it are even more important. So do with this info what you will. Then Patrick shifted into religious language, positioning himself as a man of faith who had made mistakes, but was spiritually grounded. If we work together and with his guidance, I am sure we can find a way to close the door on this in a way that will show the truth without completely destroying me or my family. But to expose this hypocritical creep even further, Hannah later appeared in an interview with another TikToker, Olivia Nicole. She talked about an older incident involving the family where a Christian pastor kicked them out during the CPS case.
It just doesn't make sense. Apparently when he moved to Texas, he was living with a pastor and his wife, and when Sarah went to the hospital for the CPS case, like, I guess they kicked him out. I mean, I was told, because this person was around during this incident, that Teresa rushed Sarah to the emergency room. She was wearing a robe with no underwear on, and that prompted a CPS case.
Do you know about how old she was?
12, maybe?
People on the internet were outraged after everything was disclosed. Around that same time, another rumor started circulating online that Sarah might have had an OF account of her own. To be clear, those claims mostly came from Reddit threads and speculation, not from anything officially confirmed. But once that idea entered the conversation, it added another layer to an already messy narrative, and people began viewing everything through an even darker lens. Despite everything, promotional posts for the second installment of their book, Firebound Harmony, Defenders of the Flame, appeared shortly afterward. Soon, on the 30th of July 2025, Patrick shared another video wishing Hunter on his 15th birthday. He also mentioned that they will be taking a break from social media once again and shutting the channel by August 15th, 2025.
As I said, we are pretty much done. This is our last ride. We'll probably be shutting down the channel by
But the break did not last. They resumed their posting in December, featuring holiday-themed content. Sarah began positioning herself around Christian messaging and personal renewal, speaking about leaving the past behind and focusing on faith-based content moving forward. She launched a new Facebook account on January 5th, 2026, where all of her posts were full of Christian and Bible affirmations.
Hello everyone, I'm sure you've noticed the scripture dump and wondered why that's the only post I'm doing. Believe me, I'm wondering.
She shared a video on 3rd February 2026 saying that she is trying to find a new voice. She is trying to start on a new life, leaving her past behind. Patrick publicly supported those posts, reinforcing the image of unity and resilience. But no amount of rebranding can erase patterns that people have already seen unfold in real time. The attempt to pivot toward faith, positivity, and personal renewal might reshape the aesthetic, but it doesn't undo the digital trail that brought all of this to light. The core issue is always the repeated crossing of boundaries, the admissions, the contradictions, and the behavior that made so many people deeply uncomfortable in the first place. At the center of it all is Patrick. His actions, his decisions, and his attempts to control the narrative are what pushed this situation into something far darker than a typical online controversy. Sarah may continue to defend him, and in doing so she has lied and contradicted herself in ways that are undeniably damaging, but it's also hard to ignore the possibility that she may have been shaped by this dynamic for years. That being said, it still doesn't excuse the inconsistencies. It simply complicates them, and after everything that has surfaced, a clean redemption arc feels almost impossible. The internet has already made up its mind, and for most people, this will always be remembered as the story of a family that crossed lines they never should have approached in the first place.